Hey, okay, so while I'm making a video, I just made one. I was like, why not just make another video? Like, what the hell? So, I'm thinking I'm going to pull a card for us and take it for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, life is life. Like, we're all life in here, right? Like, there's so much like, do this, don't do that. Think this way, but don't do that. Survival of the fittest. Do this way. You have to go this way, but use your GPS, but then don't follow the route. But then if you follow the route, think for yourself, use your principles, stick to your moral ethics, question everything, but don't question too much, or live according to this jurisdiction and this law and this religion, and then try to fit in, but then don't fit in too much because you don't want to be, like the herd, but you don't want to be unheard. I could go on and on. I was just rambling there for a second. So with that being said, let's get this over kind of quick. Life is what you make it. Okay. None of us are perfect. If you're striving for perfection, if you're striving to be something and you still don't know what it is, or you're living your life according to all of the way that the system is set up, here is your reminder, as calmly and softly as I can tell you this. Be you. Do not ever feel inferior to the superior. Your uniqueness is what makes you you. Who cares what anyone else has to say? You're not living your life according to them, are you? Because that so often does seem to happen. It's like, if I don't get the job, or if I don't live accordingly, my parents, they need to believe in me, or this person, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, what? So now you're living your life and you're being what you're being according to somebody else's expectations. I'm just going to call it like it is. I know this is a tough thing to come into realization. However, it does consume a mass majority of the collective consciousness. And when I say collective consciousness, I'm talking about you, me, all of us, because we're all connected. And whether or not you have reached that point where you can start seeing those connections, you may look at me like I'm fucking nuts. Like I have 8 heads like Medusa. I might fucking freeze you in 2.5 seconds. Look into my eyes. However, there is a connection here. And so when you, and hopefully you do, get to that realization, you'll start to see the points of access. All the different things that flow in and out, nature, the vibrations of the planet, the frequency, the different license plates, synchronicity, numbers. I don't know if you've lost a loved one, you can literally speak to them through different channels, multidimensional, the dream world, the connections there, little nudges on your shoulder, or just angelic frequencies that come through. There's so many different variations of the way that our world works and the magic that's there, that's often so taken for granted because we're so busy living our lives that often we forget to actually take a moment and listen to ourselves. And I do it all the time. Sometimes I'm just I can't hear a goddamn word. I'm over here freaking out. I have these moments because I'm very in tune with the things around me. Call it clairvoyance, the clairsensious. I'm very in tune with senses, smell, and future predictions, if you will, and visions and creativity. We all can tap into this. It's just, I'm no better than you. I've just chosen, because I have free will just like you. We all have free will here to make a choice of what we want to do with what we have. That's it. So there's no, I'm up here, you're down there, you don't understand, I'm, this, that, and the other. When I speak, I'm speaking on an equilibrium. This isn't about winning or trying to act like I'm smarter than you or better than you or I know more. No, honey, that's not how I operate. So with that being said, I'm going to pull a card from the Cosmic Reading deck tonight. And usually I do like the breath work and breathe in and out, which is so good to do at times. But sometimes we all operate on different systems of what works for us differently, because uniquely we are all of us are different. That's the point that I love to make, because it is so valid. What may work for one, ding, 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 may not work for another. I know, shocking, right? Because there's this spiritual war in a sense, or outside of that, religious war, or like, just colors and different variations of religion and origins and countries and politics and all these different, strings of things that are just going to try to throw you off at times. And what you need to also just accept within yourself, and this is my advice, use your own discernment, is the allowance to just be you and also allow other people to just be them. If you start solving and resolving your trauma, like passed down generational, like timelines of what you were handed, and if you were tossed that card that chose like for you to have that type of mentality and thought process, and it's not so good, you have a choice point in your free will, because each and every one of us has free will here, which is the sacred energy that we have to choose what to do with what we want in this life. That's the beautiful part about this experience that I think is also forgotten and taken for granted, because you do have that free will. And it's so easy to point fingers and blame somebody else, but it's like, no, honey, like you can do it. Like, let's take accountability, let's resolve, solve, and do inner work. Look at yourself in the mirror, dig down that rabbit hole within like your fears and whatever it is, and cry it out, feel emotion. Do it by yourself especially, because that energy is what you need to express within you in order for you to actually start to release. And that's my advice. Take it or leave it. Well, who am I? Listen or don't listen. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle some cards right now. And I'm going to pull a card. All right, ready? This is the card. So we have 18, intuition. Key note. And then 8 equals 9. 9 can be flipped upside down to 6, which is also my zodiac sign, like 69, like the crab. Numerology. I'm not someone that sticks to everything. I like to flow with it. I'm not so attached to the outcome of things, because then I think that leaves very little room to expand and to learn more. That's just my personal choice point. I used to be like that, attached to numbers so much, but that to me just was counterproductive. So with that being said, I'm going to really quickly read, because I'm at 8:42 right now. I'd be so surprised if you guys actually listen to this video. I might actually just attach what this means, but I'm going to read the first paragraph. And this was actually written by Albert Einstein, and I've never pulled this card before. So here we go. Intuition. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Albert Einstein. So I will share what this message says furthermore attached to this, and I love that. This was such a great card, because intuition, that gut feeling, is something that it's like a forgotten gift so much. When you have that initial feeling, and then time goes on and you're thinking back to yourself, well, you should have listened to that. Yes, 1,000%. I love you. I don't know who you are. Love yourself. We're all working on it here. No one's better, worse. Let's just appreciate ourselves in this moment. Give yourself a round of applause for being here and making it this far. I love you.